Africa entrepreneurs. Africa entrepreneurs are the one we are looking at as citizens of this continent. For us to move to the next level and not just to be seen as a continent of poverty. As one of our leaders said, we cannot be a rich continent with poor people. And here in Namibia, I'm saying for Namibia, we are too few to be poor.
Hello one, hello all, family, friends, fellow Africans here in the continent, and to you who are in the diaspora. Have you tried to imagine this? Namibia, natural resources such as natural gas funding free education, uranium revenues building hospitals, copper profits creating green energy jobs, and other rare earth minerals funding infrastructures. This law isn't just about maybe some percent, but it's a full or 100% of future belonging to the people. Namibia has decided to take a new path to take control of its natural resources. And you know that Namibia is not alone. Across African continent, nations are awakening. Burkina Faso, we have seen, is building state-controlled gold reserve. Zimbabwe has banned export of raw lithium. Democratic Republic of Congo, despite of weak leadership, but is negotiating mining deal to keep more value at home. Mali has banned export of raw gold. Niger has taken control of its uranium. So this is a wake-up call to the continent of Africa. So family, friends, fellow Africans, Namibia has joining Mali, Niger, and Sahelian nations to take control of its natural resources. We know that if Africa, we can manage our resources properly, there's no need for African nations to learn and to seek loans in Western institutions and to beg for the help, because what we have is enough to fund our resources. As I said, if you're trying to imagine, if Africa, we are serious with our gold, we can fund free education. With our diamond, we can fund hospitals. With our natural gas, we can fund infrastructures. With gold and other rare earth minerals, we can sponsor industrialization. We can support energy production. With uranium, imagine what we can do with Africa, with all these resources. So, family, friends, fellow Africans, this is not just taking control of natural resources, this is a sovereignty. So, Namibia has decided to take control of its natural resources under the leadership of Her Excellency Madam President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. By taking this control, Namibia is going to create jobs for young men and women. Resources are going to benefit the poor. We know that for many years, Africans is known for exporting raw minerals or raw materials. This time we are saying Africa is going to keep profit here in the continent, because we have been inviting investors. Yes, sometimes we say they are giving us job, but they take profit to their home countries. They are not keeping profit here in the continent of Africa. So we want Africans to invest in their natural resources. We want investors to come and collaborate with Africans, not to come and make Africans cheap labor and then profit are being taken away. We have seen our uranium powering other nations. We have seen our diamond shining in the shelf and in the buildings of other people, in the cities of other nations. While we Africans, black people, we are suffering while we are the provider of all these things. So the time has come, and this leadership of Her Excellency Madam Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, if can work together with leaders such as Traore, such as Duma Boko and Assimi Goita, Abdulrahman Chian, I think Africa can raise up. The time for Africa to raise is now. We know African or black people to work together, it is difficult. One thing that Africans or black people are suffering is how they can work together, how they can unite. That's what Africans we lack right now. We can speak very well, we can motivate each other, but when it comes to work together, we fear each other. We don't trust one another. We hate each other. We have a self-hate, and we don't believe that unity can make Africa strong. And Africans, if we can unite, we can move far instead of moving as an individual countries. So family, friend, fellow Africans, you see how these powerful nations have done. In Africa, if you look very keenly, you understand that African countries, they differ. Maybe this year there's election, next year election in another country, and next year then an election. So African leaders are being divided through election. Maybe this will be the topic of another day, how election are dividing Africa and making Africans not coming together. Because right now politicians are thinking about, maybe if election is this year, you cannot tell an African leader about unity. They're thinking about election. Even those who they're going to the election next year, they cannot concentrate on how they can unite, how they can work together. They're concentrating on elections. So their ideas and views and everything, energy, they're putting on election. But if Africans, we can keep aside this election. And I call young people, we need to have a dialogue to give African leaders that let us keep aside these 5 years, no election in the continent. Then from there, let us come together and find the best way how we can get good leaders. So you cannot tell the African leader or politician who want to be a president while about the issue of unity, while they are thinking about becoming a next president. They're not ready. And they will not accept, because in their minds, they are thinking that next year I'm going to be a president. You see? That's why sometimes you may wonder why Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goita, and Abdulrahman Chian are working very properly, because they came to power at almost the same time, and they have postponed elections in their countries to deal with issues in their countries, to see how they can come together and make things okay. But how can you tell the people who are going to election next day or next year? They cannot be accepting. They cannot be ready to unite, because they know if they will unite, they will not become a president. There are some people who have dreams to be presidents, so they are not concentrating on the issue of the unity. So family, friend, fellow Africans, the issue here is about what is happening in Namibia, that Namibia is joining Pan-Africanist and revolutionary countries to take control of its natural resources. So Deputy Prime Minister has argued that from now on, Namibians will own 51% of a new mining project. So that's what, of course, this 51% has risen. But before, you find that Africans own 10% or 3%. And that's why you see Africa is famous for these natural resources, but also Africa is famous for having poor and poorest people. How is it possible that with all these resources, we are still called a poorest continent, a begging continent? We need to manage well our natural resources. So family, friend, fellow Africans, if you have something unique, you may share with us through the comment section. If you want had something unique, or you have good information, please, you may share through the comment section so that all of us, the people of Africa, we can understand what is going on in our mother continent, Africa. This is Make Africa Great, the place where we come together as Africans to share our thoughts, ideas, and to find the best solutions for our challenges. So after that, my dear lovely family, let me say one thing to you: stay in power, a luta continua. Let us continue to fight to liberate this continent economically. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, Africa.